All right, let's bring in Ben Aris. He's the editor-in-chief of B-N-E IntelliNews and joins us live from Berlin. Ben, thanks for being with us. You know, in any conflict where talks are ongoing in the background, it's very sensitive. Nobody wants to jeopardize whatever flow is in place. But now you hear both sides openly saying that this is going nowhere. You hear the United States and Ukraine saying the only way to get Russia to stop this is to force them or to force them into talks. I think that says a lot about where we are right now, that people are openly saying this.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I missed that.
I mean, usually nobody wants to jeopardize talks in a sensitive situation. But now you hear Ukrainian officials as well as U.S. officials saying, this isn't going anywhere. The only way to get Russia to stop what they're doing is to force them.
Indeed. It seems that any effort at talks have been put to one side for the moment. The Americans just announced a $33 billion package that your correspondent mentioned. That's a significant scaling up. That's 5 times more money than they've spent before. It's 8 times more money than the entire Ukrainian defense budget, and it's equivalent to half of Russia's annual spend on defense. This means that they're looking at the military option. It implies that they think this fight is going to go on for a while, and it seems now everybody is taking the position, all right, we made an attempt at talks and a negotiated peace, and that went nowhere. And Lavrov, again, as in your report said, the Kremlin seems to have given up on the idea of talks for the meantime. And everybody's looking to the Battle of Donbass, which is now well underway, and to see how that plays out, who comes out with advantage in that battle. And then at the end of that, when one side appears to be losing, I think the peace talks will start again. But again, this battle will go on for months. And in the meantime, there's going to be more destruction and more death.
You know, in the last week, something pretty disturbing has emerged. We've heard repeated threats from Russian officials, even Vladimir Putin himself, that seem to be pointing towards a nuclear aspect of this being highly possible. And then anytime you listen to Russian state TV on virtually a daily basis, they seem to be justifying that possibility. At the same time, though, we just heard an unnamed U.S. official quoted as saying that they don't believe Russia would do this. But the fact that that discussion is out there so frequently, it's worrying.
Indeed, it's extremely worrying, in so much as you can imagine a scenario where the Americans have supplied so much weapons that Russia looks like it's going to lose this war, that the Ukrainians will be victorious. And we have a new Putin, an extreme Putin, at every stage in this conflict. He's shocked by the extremities that he was prepared to go to. I mean, up to and including the invasion of Ukraine, nobody expected that. And if you back him into the corner, I think he's become sufficiently erratic or unpredictable that at least we cannot exclude the possibility that some sort of nuclear weapon could be used. The scenario that's being discussed is they drop a tactical nuclear weapon on somewhere like Kiev, and Russia has these tactical weapons, relatively small ones, which could destroy the center of Kiev, but it could be done on the assumption on Russia's side that that would not provoke NATO to come in. It would not provoke an exchange of nuclear weapons. It would be an incredibly risky thing to do, but as you say, it's been talked about, and so now that possibility is definitely on the table, and it's giving people pause for thought, especially Chancellor Scholz in Germany, who specifically said that, you know, his main goal is to avoid a clash between NATO and Russia, and he put that, prioritizes that over giving arms and support to Ukraine.
You know, something that just happened today, we heard from the Russian Foreign Ministry saying that they're stopping dialogue with the United States on strategic stability until this war is over. What do you know about that dialogue, and how significant is this? Oh, I think Ben may have frozen up there. Okay, Ben, could you hear my question? Sorry.
Yes, I could. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, bad connection. If you go back to December and the original demands put out by the Russian Foreign Ministry, there were several arms control treaties on there, and Biden himself also indicated they were very keen to engage in Russia and put back some of these Cold War arms controls treaties. And that was at the back of this. I mean, however, the Russian Foreign Ministry insisted first and foremost that NATO would not be allowed to join, Ukraine would not be allowed to join NATO, and that wasn't agreed on, and so the whole talks collapsed. But what they're saying here is that the other things, the general security agreements that were on the table and both sides were prepared to talk about, all of that's been suspended. And again, it comes back to the focus that we're now fully focused on the Donbass battle, the military confrontation between the two, and nobody's prepared to talk about anything until that's been resolved one way or the other.
All right, Ben, always good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Pleasure.